Gentlemen, appreciate you attending this panel this afternoon. I know that just right before this panel we had heard a lot of contents in which I think will be repeated in this panel, but I encourage you to bear with us. And I'm going to try to ask questions I think that may be of value to the audience. And I think that just going forward, really, this STO space, just asks a lot of questions, and I think that we're going to try to tackle some of those today. Spencer, if I could start with you. Everyone seems to be talking about STOs these days. It seems like it's the hype. It seems to be the case, however, that only very few people really understand it. And I know that you took the time to really kind of explain what it is. Open finance, do the same thing. I just want you to kind of just give, just a 2 to 3 minute overview, just a very brief overview. What do you think an STO really is, in your own personal view, and why does that warrant this hype in this market?
Yeah, absolutely. So, as I spoke about earlier, an STO is nothing more than the security in tokenized form. I think what we're really seeing, a lot of the hype is partial. I've heard 2017 was the party and 2018 was the hangover. I think that's really true. And so a lot of it is this kind of transition from investing in ICOs to investing in STOs. And I think it's a lot of investors kind of woke up and were like, what did I invest in 2017? This isn't really having value. This is nothing more than a gift card, and I'm probably never going to use this protocol. And granted, a lot of people make a lot of money doing that. But I think this transition to STOs is really trying to find, it's one part, investors really trying to invest in things with more substance and more value. But it's another part of traditional finance being revolutionized by this idea of having a blockchain as a transfer layer. There's a ton of middlemen, and Toby went into detail of this, of transferring security, both on the initial issuance side and on the secondary market. There's just so much clutter there, and ultimately the consumers or the secondary purchasers, as well as the issuers, really suffer. So by adding a token, we're really transforming this almost $10 trillion market of private placements. And even just a fractional increase in performance is really worth billions of dollars. So that's where I think we're seeing the excitement coming from.
We're already seeing the actual use cases of tokens that are being, security tokens that are being going on chain as the preferred and compliant way to raise capital. But it seems like there's a wide spectrum of different asset classes, such as equities, fixed income, real estate, commodities, IPR, just the list goes on and on. Just based on your experiences at Securitized, what are your clients what do they favor in terms of asset classes, and what are some of the asset classes that they're sort of shy to go forward with?
Yeah, absolutely. So at Securitized, we're just a technology platform, so we help issuers do everything they need to on the technology side, and part of that is helping them maintain compliance. So we really try to take an agnostic approach toward different verticals that security tokens may be applied to. Because we're not a broker-dealer, we don't help people raise money, and we don't help structure offerings or do advisory. But what I can say, based on conversations I've had with these secondary market buyers of these things and broker-dealers, is that the kind of really clear use case right now is tokenizing funds. Traditional funds have a typical lifespan of 7 to 10 years. So that's the second you're investing in a fund, you're going to be locked up for at least 5-7 years. And so the idea of having year one liquidity is really appealing. There's a lot of these funds that a lot of people want to get into, but they can't because the barriers to entry are so great. So tokens can really streamline that. I think we've seen a lot of different use cases in a lot of different industries. Obviously, a lot of real estate, companies in oil and gas wanting to tokenize their actual oil interests. Companies from precious metals, art galleries, etc. are really just excited about this space. And it's to be determined what will ultimately be leading use case of this.
Carlos Domingos, CEO of Securitize, did an interview last month with Security Token Academy, which he announced two very interesting predictions for 2019. He mentioned that as of date, only a very few security tokens have actually been issued on the blockchain, and he mentioned that for Securitize there have been only 6. And that not many projects have actually raised money from investors. So the first prediction that Carlos made was he's expecting about 100 security token projects to be issued on the blockchain by the end of this year. And his second prediction was he expects there to be at least about 10 exchanges that would trade security tokens by the end of 2019. Do you follow with his prediction? What are the key assumptions for some of these predictions, and what are your personal predictions for 2019?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think where Carlos is coming from when he says that there's been a lot of these security token issuances, but they're not really issued. There's a lot of people going out saying, hey, we're creating a security token, but they don't ultimately get raise capital, or they aren't issued ultimately. So there's only 6 that are in existence thus far to my knowledge, and they're all tokens that Securitize has created. There'll be several issuance platforms coming out over the next year, but I would look to the exchanges. Where are these issuance platforms actually going to get secondary market liquidity? And so right now, Open Finance is the first known exchange that's actually trading these tokens. So that's where he's coming from in terms of that. I think when he's talking about 2019, and I agree with him on 100 issuances, we're targeting that even to say it's Securitize, 100 issuances. So I think across all the platforms, we'll probably see even more than 100, which will be really exciting. And 10 exchanges, that's probably a reasonable assumption. I think that within the next 2 months, we'll have at least 3 more, and several more after that.
Thank you for that, Spencer. I want to transition to Heslin. Heslin, I'm just curious, what are your predictions for 2019 for the ST market? I don't know, personally for me, I tend to have a more bullish perspective. I would like to see thousands of tokens listed this year, hundreds of exchanges. Maybe I'm a little too bullish. But if you could give us your perspective.
Yeah, thousands I think is extremely bullish. We could all potentially hope for that. I don't know how well it would do in terms of dilution within the market at first, but 2019, I think, from what I'm seeing, is going to be the year of regulation, the year of government involvement, and really setting the tone for the future years. So there's a lot of sandboxes that are going on right now. I just got back from Singapore, and the 10 exchange hypothesis for 2019 is, I think, a little bit on the low side. I know that within the sandbox of Singapore, they have 40 applications for security token exchanges. Well, that's just within Singapore, so there's going to be quite a lot more. There's one that's coming up live in the Philippines, should be live at the end of the month. We can wait for that. T0 should be coming online relatively soon, they said. A few more without breaking any NDAs, but we can see that there's a lot going on behind the curtains, without the public announcements. As far as security token issuance is concerned, within Polymath, we've got about 175 that are in the application filing process right now. Within fundraising, we're sitting at about 75 that are doing fundraising currently. 15 have distributed their tokens and are launched on the blockchain. So between Securitize and ourselves, we've got at least, 25 or so, you said 6? 6. So 21 between both of us. And there are several other players in the space, Swarm and Harbor, Issuance, and dozens of other ones that are coming out. So I'm sure they've all got a couple on hand as well. So I think 100 is not too hard to say that that's going to happen. I think 100 potentially by the end of Q1, Q2, we might have half that already. So within the